All right.
All right.
So let's roll it up here.
All right. Why don't you go first?
High roll.
Oh, of course. I was just about to say low roll. All right. I guess I get to try to beat that. Nope. What's your call?
I will play.
Play. Seems like the right thing to do in this matchup.
Dredge versus Blue-White Stoneblade. Game 1 of 3.
I thought you were playing Burn, man.
I switched it out at last second.
Alright.
I thought about playing Burn, but you know.
Alright.
I wanna give people what they want to see, and I know they want to see Burn, but you know.
Yeah.
All right. This is a keep.
You said yours is a keep, eh? This is a very interesting hand. Let's see. I'm not sure how I feel about this. I'm on the draw, so it has some advantages there.
Pretty sure you gotta mold that.
Yeah, I think so too. I think if this were a tournament and I didn't know what I was playing against, I'd definitely just snap throw that back.
Yeah.
However, against decks that are playing counter spells, things like that stop your discard outlets, just being able to go up to a draw, discard that, start dredging, keep discarding. It's a slower way, but it's a way to kind of grind out. And I have those lands for when I do want to start casting spells. Basically being able to cast every spell on my deck aside from the Grave Troll is very powerful. So it was a thought. I don't know if you have a quick Stoneforge, that just kind of spells my doom. So I think.
Well, I'm playing this as though I don't know what you're playing.
Okay.
But I would keep this in most cases.
Yeah, seems promising on my mold of 6. We'll see what we do.
Especially on your mold 6. Now I'm feeling really good.
We'll keep.
Alright. Your turn.
Plains. Oh, I always top deck that card. Every time. Let me go ahead and go down to 19. Play Cephalid Coliseum. Tap for a blue. And attempt to cast Careful Study.
Yep.
It resolves.
Yep.
So first, I'll draw my 2 cards. Then I will discard my 2 cards. We'll go with 2 Stinkweed Imps.
Okay.
And Careful Study there. And I'll go ahead and pass the turn.
And we'll wasteland your Coliseum.
Yep.
Your turn.
See, with that other hand, I'd be in the exact same position right now, where I'm dredging on my first draw step, but I'd have more lands in my hand to do stuff with as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'll go ahead and pass the turn. I'm telling you this will be a quick one.
Stoneforge?
Sure.
Trigger.
Jete.
And I will pass.
And cards in hand? Whenever you get the chance, just let me know. I'm going to replace my draw step with Dredging Grave Troll.
I have 6 cards.
Alright. One of them's in Mizo Jete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I think that is game. Really hoping to hit an Narcomoeba there and Ball Therapy. Take out that Jete. But, since I did not, I'll go ahead and pass the turn.
And I will pass the turn.
Alright, untap, during my upkeep. I'll draw, I'll dredge back my Stinkweed in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll put my Narcomoeba trigger on the stack. Any response to that?
Nope.
It comes into play. And conclude my draw step.
Hold on.
Yep.
Before you leave your draw step, pause
Swords?
share.
Sure. So, puts me back up to 20. And that leaves you with 5 cards in hand.
Yep.
Alright. I guess I will go ahead and pass the turn, discarding Golgari Ritual.
I will pass the turn back.
Alright. My draw step, I'll put Golgari Ritual, dredge it back to my hand. Go ahead and just reline these out, make it a little bit smoother. Cards of note are, got a couple Cabal Therapies, still have a couple cards with dredge, and a single Bridge from Below in there still. Alright, so 1, 2, and I'm gonna make it wrap around, so 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'll pass the turn, discarding Golgari Ritual.
It's the end of your turn.
Yep.
Jit.
Sure.
Equip.
Yep.
Combat.
Sure. That's
Put you
19.
at 19.
2 counters there on the Jit.
And I'll pass the turn.
Alright. I'll go ahead, dredge back my Golgari Ritual and my draw step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pass the turn, discard Golgari Ritual.
I will pass the turn.
Alright. And my draw step, I'll dredge back over a Ritual. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because I drew 2 Narcomoebas at the beginning of the game, I don't think I'm going to see another one. Alright, I guess I will end my turn and I'll go ahead and discard a...
Before you discard,
Sure.
I will flash in a Battered Skull.
Yes.
And get a Germ token for that.
Sure.
Untap, draw.
At this point, I'm going to go ahead and scoop, and I'll tell you why. You can return your Batter Skull to your hand, and then put it back into play with Stoneforge Mystic.
Right.
That gets rid of all my bridges at instant speed.
Yep.
At that point, I don't really have anything left in my deck to come back. I figure you had a counterspell or another snap for your thing there. So I'm clocked in about 2 turns anyways, but on top of that, my strategy's completely demolished there, so we're going to go to the side.
Alright, going to boards. So I'm boarding in these. And I'm boarding in these. And I'm going to try and find room for these. These are good for killing zombies. which could be very, very important if he gets his bridges going. But since I won game 1, I'm going to try and stay a little bit aggressive here for game 2. I don't think I can board out enough stuff for these anyway. So I'm bringing in 8.
8 cards.
Potentially 8.
Potentially. I think I'm going to be somewhere around 7. Yeah, probably about 7 cards coming out. Yeah, I got 7 cards I want to bring in. And I think I know the 7 I'm taking out. Partially after board, when you're playing this deck, it's kind of a little bit of a guessing game on what your opponent's going to side against you. But a good rule of thumb is decks that play Snapcaster usually will bring in Surgical Extraction. Just because you get 2 uses out of it. And it's useful in other matchups, not just the Dredge matchup. Whereas something like Tormod's Crypt, things like that, sometimes the Stoneforge deck will bring them in, but sometimes, but I personally think just you have a lot more flexibility with the Surgical. It's better in more matchups, and therefore that's what I'm expecting to come in against me. This is what I'm taking out.
I do have sweepers in my board, which is especially good if he's got a bunch of zombies on the table, but I think I'm going to try and stop him from getting a bunch of zombies on the board in the first place.
That seems like a better plan. Waiting until turn 4 to Day of Judgment.
Now, some people will say board out your Stoneforge Mystics because, board out maybe 1 or 2 because you don't really want to be tapping out too early. Some people will say that. I don't believe in that. I want a turn 2 Mystic because the sooner I can get a Jitte or a Batterskull, I feel much better. The spell snares are completely dead, just about. Jace is too slow. Mana leaks are replaced by spell pierces.
Cheaper.
And Crucible of Worlds, I don't have to worry about Wastelands from him. And he's not going to really have lands for me to reuse my Wastelands on. So that's my boarding. But generally, the way to beat Dredge I've found is be ready at all times with instant speed kill on Narco Amoebas and Icarids. If you can stop Narco Amoebas and Icarids
before I get a chance to sacrifice them.
Before you can sacrifice them, if I can extraction them, maybe while their trigger is on the stack, that's really key to winning the matchup. Because if you can pull out all their Narco Amoebas, you just take out a lot of their gas.
Alright, I'll be on the play this game.
The same is true with the Icarids too.
Yep, Icarids is how this deck beats control decks, and just grinding it out. Because they have to sort every single one of them, or else you eventually just get there with your zombies. So we'll try. Hopefully this time I'll get a little bit of a better hand. Yeah, this seems like a hand I can work with.
This is not a hand I could possibly keep.
Alright.
5 lands, a Mystic, and a Batterskull.
Yep, I think you'd be dead before
just not enough interaction
you
there.
untapped.
I really need to find a Force of Will to stop that turn 1 play of his that gets him going.
Discard outlet.
Yeah.
I think also, being that you won game 1, you'll have 4 more spells that stop the turn 1 discard outlet in your deck that you can play. Because right now, you only have the Force to stop it. Whereas when you've got Spell Pierce to stop all of those looting cards, it'd be a lot stronger.
Alright, so here you see the hand I mulliganed into.
Not looking?
And this is slightly better.
Alright. You gonna keep that?
I will keep.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and get aggressive. And play City Brass. Go down to 19. Add a blue mana to my mana pool and cast Careful Study.
Yep.
Results.
Yep.
I'll draw 2 cards. 1, 2. I will discard 2 cards. These 2 guys, Tinkley Dim and Golgari Thug.
Yep.
I'll go ahead and pass turn.
Your turn.
Alright. Untap. Upkeep. I'll go ahead and dredge Stinkweed Imp back to my hand. Any response?
Nope.
Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not a very solid dredge, but
That's a lot to see.
yeah. You have. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and play Gemstone Mine.
Yep.
3. And go ahead and take another one, put down to 18. I'm gonna try hard casting an Archimevo.
Yep.
Alright, this is still in the preview. With Dredge, since your graveyard ends up taking up so much of your play space, a lot of times I'll do it up top, and then my creatures, my lands will be down here, so in case there's any confusion about that. I'll go ahead and pass turn.
I'll Plowshare your Narco Amoeba EOT.
Sure. So, there he goes. He got rid of one of those Narcomoebas, putting me back to 19.
Misty Fetch.
Yep.
19.
Yep. Sure. Stoneforge. That resolves. Batterskull. Alright. Oh, Umezawa Jete.
And cards in hand.
4.
Those of you watching this can see at this point I am in quite a bind. Do I use this spell on his one dredge, which could potentially slow him down incredibly if he doesn't have a discard outlet in his hand, or some other way to get a dredging creature in here? I know he has a Stinkweed Imp in his hand that he just dredged up with last turn. Does he? If he has a third land, he could play it, but that doesn't get it into the graveyard. So unless he has a sack outlet, Faithless Looting, or a Careful Study, this could be backbreaking to a dredge deck. But I'm a much more conservative style player, and I'm going to wait and hold my Surgical to get a key spell like Narco Amoeba or an Icarid.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the way I play.
Definitely a great way to do it. So, then I'm going to go ahead and untap. Upkeep, no effects. Draw step, I'll replace my draw with Golgari Thug. more.
If I extracted the Golgari, it's just too many eggs in one basket. You know what I'm saying? It's like all my hope is going in on that. You can see my hand. It's
Agite.
it's not. I mean, it's not a bad hand, but I think I want to get more out of this than just removing a bunch of Golgaris.
Yeah, especially not even a card that is my main dredger.
Right. Like
if this is a grave troll,
if
maybe.
If it was a grave troll, I might do it.
Yeah.
Or even a stinkweed, maybe, but...
Yeah. So, 1, 2, 3. Well, there you go. You got your wish.
He would have flashbacked. Now, if he had another land, he could have flashbacked and put the stinkweed from his hand back into the graveyard. So, extracting last turn would have been a major mistake.
It would have cost you.
Yeah.
Certainly would have cost you. Alright. And you are tapped out, sir?
Yeah.
Now, I have a lot to think about here. I guess first off, I'm going to play my Undiscovered Paradise.
Yep.
Um,
Playing Dredge and playing against Dredge, you want to take your time.
Yes, yes, there
the
are a lot of
games are going to
things.
end quickly anyway. You know, the games are going to end quickly naturally, so you can't afford to make a single mistake.
Attempt to cast Careful Study.
Yep.
So this trigger goes on. The way this land works is if it's tapped for mana, it produces any color, and at the beginning of your next untap step, it returns back to your hand. So there's no time at the beginning of my turn to tap this for mana to cast an instant, if I had one. Things that happen during your untap, you really can't add any more effects to the field then. So I'll go ahead and replace my first draw step with Stinkweed Imp and Dredge 5.
Yep.
1, 2, man, maybe you should have hit the Stinkweed. 3, 4, 5. Well, maybe not. Replace my second one here.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can't put that trigger on the stack until I let Careful Study finish resolving. So, yeah, I guess I'm just gonna discard a couple Stinkweed Imps here. Then I'm gonna put my Narcomoeba trigger on the stack.
I'll extract it in response.
In response, you're casting Surgical Extraction on it. And what I will do is go ahead and pay a green. Losing life, going down to 18. To cast Noxious Revival.
Yep.
Targeting that.
Yep.
So what it's going to do is it's going to put it back on top of my library.
Yep.
And you no longer have a target for your surgical. So it's
Alright.
So that is my turn.
Alright, so Noxious Revival there was a beating. And I will pass the turn.
Alright. Go to my untap step, return Undiscovered Paradise to my hand, and then go to my upkeep and subsequent draw, and I'm going to replace my draw step with Golgari Grave Troll. Again, just talking through everything, it's a video we're making, but also every time I talk through the steps of what I'm doing reinforces my habits as a player. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a pretty good dredge. I'm going to then put these triggers on the stack.
Snapcaster Surgical.
Targeting
Narcomoeba.
Alright. So that's got you at
15.
And you get to see my hand, which is that, and you're going to get to remove one more Narcomoeba.
Okay.
Go ahead and take a look. For the purpose of saving time, I'll look for it here.
Yep.
If you're looking through, you can see I brought in the Ancient Grudge. and no lion's eye diamonds. So
Boarded out the lion's eyes.
boarded out the lion's eyes.
There's only 3 narcos? Oh, there's 4 there.
Yep, you already swords the other one. So cards in hand at this
Did you
point.
bring in any other Icarids, or are those your only 2?
No, I did bring in 2 Icarids, so there are now 4 Icarids in the deck.
Okay.
So
Good to know.
yep. How many cards do you have left over there?
I've got 4 cards in my hand.
Alright. And what I'll do is I will let's see here.
Can you tell us what Dread Return is?
Dread Return says return target creature card from your graveyard to play, so like a Zombify, Reanimate, that kind of thing. It also has a flashback of sacrifice 3 creatures, which means any 3 creatures I have in play, I can sacrifice those to bring back a creature from my graveyard.
Yep.
So
we're hoping that by killing the Narco Amoebas here, he may not get 3 creatures out there to ever be able to flash back the Dread Return. So that's another reason why getting rid of the Narco Amoebas is very important, because they fuel the Dread Return and fuel Cabal Therapy.
yes, very, very important. What I'm going to do here, though...
Are you in your draw step still?
No. Now I'm into my main phase.
Okay.
So I'm going to play a land. I discovered Paradise again. Take 1, go down to 17. And we're going to flashback Faithless Looting.
Yep.
My jumps on mind going down to 1 precious counter. And first will be replaced by a Grave Troll. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Second will be replaced by a Grave Troll. So remove it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So as you can see, all the Narcomoebas are hanging, or all of the Icarids are now in the graveyard, and we're hoping he doesn't have another Snapcaster or another Surgical. I will be discarding 2 cards. We'll go with 2 more Gold Guard Grave Trolls. Looking at my library, it's just a good thing to keep this in mind. And we'll go ahead and pass the turn.
Combat?
Yep, I can't do anything about that at the moment, so we're down to
15?
15.
And I'll pass the turn.
Alright. Untap. During my upkeep, I'm going to put some Icarid triggers on the stack.
Do you have any bridges in your graveyard?
I don't think I do have any bridges just yet, so...
There's a lot of bridges in there somewhere.
Yep. So I think that's going to determine how many of these Icarids I'm going to bring back this turn.
How do you bring back an Icarid?
You exile another black card from your graveyard.
A black creature, right?
Black creature, not just any black card.
Yep.
So, you know, I may want to Dread Return this turn as well. So,
What do you have in your yard to Dread Return?
right now I have Golgari Grave Trolls, which would be about a 5/5 or a 6/6. Just a big dude. Still dies to plow and path and all that, but you know what? I'm going to go ahead and get 3 Icarids back. Even though I could get the 4th one, I just don't think I'm going to have enough to do with it this turn. So we'll go ahead and remove those.
Undiscovered, did it return
Returns.
to your hand?
Oh, sorry. Yep, it did return to my hand. And then I'm going to, for my draw, I'll dredge back Golgari Grave Troll. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So right now we see that we have 2 bridges there. So now we're going to try to do some things with all this stuff in our hand and whatnot. I'll go ahead and play my land for the turn. And my 3 Icarids here are hanging out. First off, I will sacrifice an Icarid, putting 2 Bridge from Below triggers on the stack. We'll represent them with these guys right here. And I'm going to flashback a Cabal Therapy. So, sacrificing it to play for the flashback cost, and I'm choosing you as the target. Is there anything you'd like to do before I get to name a spell?
Going to path one of your Icarids.
Half one of my Icarids. Alright. We'll just go with this one right here. I do not have a land. I'm going to go ahead and search to be able to find. My 2 bridges were on the bottom of my deck, so mine's. Alright, and now does that Cabal Therapy resolve?
Yep.
I will go ahead and choose Batterskull. And we see there, it's got the Jitte that we knew about. It's got another Stoneforge, a Vendilion, and another Snapcaster Mage, which can be trouble if he draws a land for another one of those path effects. So, I miss on that. I get 2 zombies, and I'm gonna go ahead and sacrifice this other one to cast another Cabal Therapy, targeting you again.
Yep.
2 triggers on the stack.
Yep.
I'm assuming no more response this time.
No response.
Yep. And I'll name Snapcaster Mage. Alright. And then let's see here. I guess I'm going to go ahead and cast Obligary Thud. Just hard cast.
Yep, that puts you at 14.
Yep. And your turn. And you were at 15, correct?
15, 14.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Do you have any Cabal Therapies in your yard?
I have no more therapies in my yard.
Okay. How many Ancient Grudges do you have? 2?
2, yes.
I will play a Stoneforge Mystic.
Sure.
Trigger?
Yep. Batterskull, yes.
Cuts.
There you go.
Pay 2 life.
To surgically extract.
And we'll extract Icarid.
Alright. You know that's all of them in the deck, but
Yep.
all therapies and the bridges were on top, so. So you're at 13 currently.
13 to 14.
Yep.
Your turn.
No attacks?
Nope.
Alright, go ahead and give me a cut there. Alright, and on my turn, I am going to go ahead and untap. This returns to my hand. I can't do anything during my upkeep. 2 more. Yep. Yeah, I think this is the turn I kind of have to go for it, so I'm going to go ahead and dredge back another Grave Troll here.
Okay.
And go ahead and throw in Grave Troll, Dark Blast, Bridge from Below, Ball Therapy, Careful Study. Play my land for the turn. We'll go ahead and sacrifice Golgari Grave Troll to a flashback Ball Therapy, naming Batterskull. Put 4 triggers on the stack, and get 4 more zombies. And go ahead and attack for 8.
I will gang block 1 and block another.
Sure, so that kills these, that gets rid of my bridges, and you take 4.
Yep, 9.
Alright, and I forgot to put this trigger on the stack. When Golgari goes to the graveyard, put a target creature card on the top of your library. I'll put another Golgari Thug. Sorry. Just trying to shortcut when that happens. That is your turn, or that is my turn. And all the bridges are gone.
You can replace 2 of these
Yep,
with 2 real...
zombies, sure. So 2 are untapped, 2 are tapped.
And your turn.
Just draw normal. This target returns. Attack with 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 power coming at you.
Yep.
Is that lethal?
I will... Yep, I think so.
Alright. So, you can tell there I was able to grind out that timely Noxious Revival. Really helped. And it was a strange game because I didn't see any Icarids early, so I wasn't able to really interact on my graveyard, but having those lands allowed me to flash back the Faithless Looting to get more dredges, and I don't know, I was kind of trying to play around the stuff that you could do to answer the stuff that I was going to do, and yeah. I didn't get to see a single Narcomoeba that stayed in play.
That's good.
Yeah, and you ended up exiling my Icarids, and I still was able to grind it out. That one turn of being able to use the Icarids.
Yeah, I needed a way to interact with your bridges, and I just never had a way that whole game.
Yeah, because if you try to get Jitte with counters on it, I had the Ancient Grudge at that point.
You had the grudges very early, and I was stuck on 2 mana the whole game. Could never get my Vendilion click out there. Not that it would do a lot, but, you know.
It's a clock. It's fast.
Just to get something out there and start swinging.
Definitely. Alright, we'll try to make this one go a little quicker.
And at one point, when you had tapped your city and undiscovered, if I flashed in the Jitte, it would have forced you to use your last counter on your gemstone in order to grudge it. So I was trying to do that, but I just really never felt like I had an opportunity to... I'll play first.
And again, I named Batterskull when I knew you had Jitte in hand because I already had the grudges out, and Batterskull kills my tokens.
Yep.
Or kills my bridges, so.
Yep. I will keep.
I'll keep as well. That's me there. Should be fun. Alright. Play Cavern. Or I'm sorry, mine. Go down to 2. Attempt to cast Future Death.
Yep.
Future Imp resolves. I will then pass my turn.
I haven't seen a Force of Will. It feels like in forever.
Yep.
19.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I could try mulling into a Force of Will, but I feel like my hand was good enough to get by without a Force of Will, so
Definitely.
that is why I kept.
Brainstorm, and that's a good reason. You're doing that by end of turn, correct?
Yep.
Alright. So even if he has a fetch there, he's only going to be able to get rid of one of those cards.
Potentially, I should have done that in response to the Imp in case I got a Force of Will, but I'm really not too worried about the Imp.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not worried about him getting his engine going. He's going to get his engine going no matter what. I just want cards to be able to stop it.
Yes, while it's going.
Yep. So I will put 2 cards back. I will put these 2 cards back.
Alright. Really just one of them goes back because you're going to be drawing the other one immediately. And then shuffling it away, Stoneforge.
Is that good?
That resolves.
Your turn.
During my upkeep, I'm going to go ahead and discard Golgari Grave Troll to give this Putrid Imp flying. And then move to my draw step.
Yep.
It goes?
Yep.
Alright, so we'll go ahead and return this to my hand and dredge 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll go ahead and put that Dark Amoeba on the stack.
I'll pay 2. 17.
I'm going to surgically extract them. That will make this game very difficult. Go ahead and take a look at my hands.
He's got Looting, Thug, Imp, and a couple lands.
And 2 of my Narcomoebas were on the very bottom of my deck, so I would not have seen them anytime soon anyways. Actually, it looks like all 3 were in the bottom 12 cards of my deck, so while it's still the right play, I guess I can't feel too hosed. That leaves you with how many cards in hand now?
I have 5.
5, and one of them is a Batterskull?
Jitte.
Jitte, okay. I'm going to go ahead and cut. Alright. This is now in my hand. He saw that I had that Faithless Looting in hand, so I'm going to go ahead and discard Grave Troll again to give my Imp flying.
Yep.
And use another Gemstone Mine, tap that, down to 2 to cast Faithless Looting.
Yep.
That resolves, so we'll go ahead and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Second one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Discard a couple cards here. I did not see an Ancient Grudge, so Jitte might be the right card to name here. Yeah, we'll go ahead and discard these 2 cards there. And that's the Faithless Looting, I guess. So, I'm going to discard these 2 to give this guy flying again.
Yep.
And the reason for that is I just don't want him to be able to click one of those cards out of the game. So, attack you for 2 in the air.
Yep. That brings me down to 15.
Alright. Which, as you can tell, is a life total that I like on him. I do only have 1 Bridge from Below in play, but I'm still going to just see what he's working with. I'll sacrifice this and put to Flashback Cabal Therapy.
Okay.
Putting a Bridge trigger on the stack. Does that resolve? Targeting you.
Yeah.
Sorry, this goes there. Alright, and I'll name Umezawa Jete. And what else do we have? Alright. Swords. And Snapcaster, which I have to absolutely name. I'm going to sacrifice this to cast another Cabal Therapy.
Is that your last therapy?
That is my last therapy. Do you want to Force of Will it?
Nope.
Okay. Yeah, I will name Snapcaster Mage. And I'll go ahead and pass it. Wasteland.
Oh, Wasteland.
Yeah.
Your turn.
Alright, how many cards do you have in hand?
3.
3, so you've got a Force of Will, Path to Exile, or Swords, and a Mystery card. Alright, during my upkeep, I'm going to go ahead and exile a couple Putrid Imps to bring back 2 Icarids there. And then for my draw step, I'm going ahead and dredge back a Golgari Grave Troll. These guys are in play. That's in my hand. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll play my land for the turn, which is a Cephalid. Or, sorry. Then I'll go to my main phase.
Before you leave your draw phase, I'm going to sword
Sure.
one of your Icarids, so
Yep.
put you up to 23.
Yep. Definitely. Alright, I'll go ahead and play Cephalid Coliseum and use its Threshold ability.
Yep.
To draw 3 and discard 3 cards. First, Grave Troll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Second is Grave Troll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Third would be a Grave Troll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I will discard 3 cards. Those will be 3 Grave Trolls. I am going to... How many cards do you have in hand? 2. I will flashback Icarid. I'm sorry, I'll sack this Icarid, putting 3 bridge triggers on the stack.
Okay.
And Cabal Therapy targeting you. Does that resolve?
Yeah.
Force of Will. And then Swords. You're tricky. You got me. That other one. Don't think I have another here. Yeah, I will go ahead and pass the turn. Alright.
Your turn.
Untap. Upkeep. All the Icarids that I have, which I believe should be just 3 because you removed ones. We'll go ahead and get rid of 2 Stinkweed Imps and a Putrid Imp. I'll replace my draw step with a Golgari Thug. So 4 cards. It's an Ancient Grudge, 2 Notch Survivals, and a Stinkweed Imp. I'm going to sack these 3 to cast Dread Return on a Golgari Grave Troll.
Good game.
Alright. There we go. And that's how you grind out.
Yeah, it's a good. It's an interesting deck to play against. That's for
Yeah.
sure. where, you know, one moment your deck could look like it's doing nothing, then all of a sudden half of it's in the graveyard.
Yep.
And you're therapying everything, and
definitely having the 4 therapies just gives you such an interactive game, especially in a deck that plays a tutor, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it makes you less likely to play your tutor if you know I can flashback a Cabal therapy and different things, so... it's a very interactive match. I don't think either of the games I won were necessarily blowouts. So, yes. I hate to play and run, but I really got to get out of here.
Well,
any final thoughts or anything?
Well, I just want to say thanks to Ryan for showing up and playing with me here. I really appreciate that. And anybody can submit questions or comments to thegoblinscave@gmail.com. We're going to be having a new email segment where people can email in questions or comments to the show. Email them to thegoblinscave@gmail.com, and I will read them on the air. Thank you again to Ryan, who is
thank you.
heading out the door here. And I hope you guys enjoyed our little matchup here, Dredge and Stoneblade. Take care, Ryan.
Take care, Brennan. Thanks for having me.
And until next time, everybody, thanks for watching.